lied. I said that I could. Don't tell anybody.
Christian services app that has saved our family. You can see the places your kids are going. You can see how fast your husband's driving. And in case there's an emergency, there's crash detection. It's a total game changer.
Get 0% APR on 2025 GMC Hummer EV models.
What?
Yep. New Protein Eggo waffles. Same great Eggo taste with 20% of your daily protein. Lego My Protein Eggo.
That's all you need. Gift card numbers are 293229871. PIN 6339. Everyone, go home. He just paid his outstanding taxes and gift cards. You chose to cook. You could have dined out or ordered in, but tonight there's no wait time and no reservations. Tonight, you slice, stir, and bring flavors together. Follow a plan or add your own touches. Because dinner is more than just fresh ingredients, easy recipes, and delicious food. It's the people around the table. It's good company, loud laughs, and enjoying the meal you made. Hello Fresh, because nothing hits like home cooking.
Welcome to Camping with Steve. I'm trying to be as stealthy as possible with all this stuff. And we're going to do an old-fashioned, dirty stealther. Urban type. In a different city I've not been to before. But this ahead of me is looking like prime stealth camping locations. Beautiful wife has dropped me off, and I'm going to get this set up and start the hunkering, because I got a hankering to do some hunkering. Okay, I deked out on this trail here. Looks as good a spot as any. Not too traveled. Oh, people have been out here, so hopefully not too many people out here. Wow, a lot of potential, a lot of views as well. So my goal here is to try and set up as closely as I can to amenities, because I've realized I've forgotten a couple things already. Ooh, oh, roast pine. I love these things. They're beautiful, and they're par for the course around here. There can be rattlers and all that type of thing, so I'll have to be a little more mindful than usual. And I think I see a spot up ahead that should be just fine to set up. Definitely quite a bunch of junk out here. I wasn't expecting so much of that, but it doesn't look like there's anybody actively crashing out here. It looks like they just dumped a bunch of stuff. Now, I am not trudging too much further in because it's starting to get a little dark. And when I'm stealth camping, I like to sneak in right at dusk when it's starting to get dark, and sneak out as early as I can, depending on the number of step twos I've had. So, this tree here and this one over here is going to work out pretty good to tie the hammock on. And I'm not far from this junk pile or anything. I think this little mound of dirt here is going to hide me a little bit, but there's nobody walking up here anyways. Nobody can see this. And there is other signs of people living rough here and there up here. So, hey, I'm in the right spot for stealth. That's all I can say. So I'll get the hammock set up, then I have to go and grab a couple more things from down the hill at one of those stores there, probably McDonald's or something. I need some salt and pepper, and I need a flashlight because mine broke in the car, so I'm gonna go grab that. But first things first, step one is to get the hammock up, and then we'll step to it from there. Now, I talked before about my hammock, Hennessy. This is the side effect of having the best wife in the world. Beautiful wife for our anniversary got me the model with the zipper on it, which I've been dying for, because the bottom entry version with that, it has a little Velcro that you basically get in through the bottom and snap shut. That really doesn't work well if you're trying to put in a sleeping pad or an underquilt, and makes getting in and out a big ordeal. So I've got this one, the snake skins on it. First time trying it out. Couldn't have picked a better spot. It is just coming up great. Everything's coming up, Steve. Oh, I just stepped on my line. And the GoPro. Yes. Everything's not coming up, Steve, so more. Ooh. It'll be interesting. Many people use carabiners instead of knots with these. That would work very well too. Now, I know when you're setting up stealth, low is very important. However, the position we are up here, nobody's going to see this from any angle that I can see. That'll do. Just nicely. I guess I'll spread it up a little bit better. But yeah, we're nice and far up the hill and out of view from everybody. Things are set up. Step 2 tonight is a delicious Pinot Grigio. That'll go very nice with the noodles I'm doing for dinner. Very crisp, refreshing, elegant, and easy drinking. So, losing daylight fast. I got some stuff tucked away up here, so there's less in the backpack, which is still not a very big backpack. This is actually a carry-on sized that I picked up for a trip to Hungary years ago. And that's where I went to go see Beautiful Wife before we actually started dating. She's a Canadian, but she was there doing music school. Anyway, this old timer can ramble on sometimes, but you gotta get a flashlight because it's definitely gonna get a little dark. Mosquitoes are not bad, thankfully. That's not gonna be the case for the next video because I know where I'm going and what I'm doing, and those things are ferocious. They're the tiny ones that are hard to kill. They have mean little hearts, not like the big ones I'm used to that go away as soon as it gets a little bit cool. So I'm gonna load this camera up in the bag. I'm not gonna leave this up the hill. Not that I'm expecting anybody, but it would be just too tempting to leave the camera up the hill. All right, pack this up. In the bag. Got the hammock kind of collapsed a little bit, so it won't stick out too much. Follow my trail here. And yeah, oh yeah, nobody's gonna see that. That's like there's nothing there at all. Nothing at all. It's the beauty of the color of those Hennessy hammocks. They really do that. And oh, see, the good people of the world are staying at the Marriott. That's a little bit much even for when I grab a hotel. More of a Super 8 kind of guy. But yeah, it's quite beautiful up here, actually. Fantastic view. But getting dark, we should actually see quite a nice view of the city here as soon as things darken up a bit. And I'm gonna hit that McDonald's. I already tried the Shell. They didn't have any flashlights or anything like that. Hit the McDonald's, and maybe one of the other gas stations will have a flashlight, which is desperately needed. So onwards we go. So stealth camping, it really helps to have a haircut and a shave and not a humongous backpack on. I'm going to try my luck at the Chevron here and see what I can find for those things I need. Mission number 1 accomplished, salt and pepper packages, because I cannot make a bland noodle dish. Mission number 2, not so successful. They're sold out of AA batteries. So the mission continues to find some AA batteries because it's getting dark. And I'm going to need them in a strange town up in the woods. Major success. Batteries. And I'm going to get up the hill after I rig up the flashlight I got. And then everything's going to be all right. This is going to be sweet. As soon as I'm out of these streetlights, it's gonna be smooth sailing. The only risky part of getting back into the woods is when you actually make the from being on the trail or the sidewalk into the woods. It's cool. About to cook dinner during the darkest hours of the night. Some people might know where that's from. Oh yeah. Nothing's been disturbed here. Awesome. Just get better than that. Let's go down there below us. And we're gonna do some dinner up here. Okay. Out here in the hollow, just about ready to get cooking some dinner. And through the woods, I was hearing something. I don't know if that's an animal or somebody sleeping rough. Maybe somebody trying to hammock like me. Who knows? But yeah, hard to say. Just gonna lay low for a bit here before I start cooking a delicious smelling meal that's gonna walk through this forest like anything that'll attract anybody around here, animal or human or anything like that. But it's been a little bit quiet, so that's a good sign so far. This meal all prepared and packaged in various steps I need to do. So the first step on this meal, what is this? Oh, it's the ham. Awesome. Okay. First step we're going to do here is boil some water. We're going to cook some noodles. And that's going to be the base of this this dinner. Is some noodles. And we're going to do basically like a cream peas and ham sauce on noodles. And yeah, it looks like I got everything I need. So I can find, yes, the lighter. I think one of the biggest levels of stress is that I am in a new place. I have not camped here before. And in fact, I've only ever briefly came through this city in the past. And some people will probably already know which city this is, particularly based on my last videos. You may know kind of the direction I'm going. So, get this boiling, chuck in the noodles. We'll set that off to the side. Just make the sauce real quick. Chow down as quickly as possible. I'm gonna curl up in here undetected, hopefully, for the night. I don't think I'll have a problem. I'm way up the hill. The stove boils quick. Time for noodles. Now we're talking. Cooked up beautifully. I'm going to strain this out. Put this off to the side for now. Be extremely vigilant about the dry grass here. Starting a fire. So, I cooked the noodles. I started all off with, why not make a little stealth camping roux? So, I got flour and butter right in here, just because it's easy to carry in one pouch like this. And, oh no, it's burning already. maybe don't put it all in one pouch. Do the butter separate from the flour. But, well, anybody that's watching this is probably screaming at me from behind their phones or computers. It's this milk that never goes bad. If that's not enough to concern you, I'm sitting here filming this kind of in the middle of nowhere, and I can just hear chefs around the world united in shaming exactly what I'm doing. Speaking of worse, yeah, all these little packages of salt and pepper that I shanghaied from the store down the road. Not all of them, but some of them are going in. Freshly cracked open package of pepper, or several. Make it extra peppery, because that's the good thing for this. I suppose it's not a bad idea to add a little bit of Pinot Grigio to bring the flavors together. Dump in the peas. In goes the old ham. Pull up a piece of plastic that fell in from the bag. Yeah. This will warm up. In goes the pre-cooked noodles. Certainly hitting the spot. Noodles done just perfectly. The peas, the ham. Oh, guys, this is just what I need. All right. Yeah. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. I'll hunker down in here. No problem. All right. Not the most ideal location for the first setup, just because of the trees, but we were losing daylight and I had to set up somewhere. And this looked pretty good. But the Hennessy hammock, it's got this nice little cell phone pouch and all that up there. It's got a ridge line up here. It's an asymmetrical hammock, so you sleep kind of sideways. You're not. Oh, there goes the light. Yeah, you sleep kind of sideways, but okay. Anyway, yeah, this should keep the mosquitoes off me and the rain if it does rain, but I doubt that very much. It's been quite a long day. We put several more 100 miles on the car today. We're all set here to get the AC fixed and continue on with the journey. But I'm going to hunker down, so to speak. Thank you guys for watching so far. And yeah, we'll assess the damage in the morning and look at how to set this up a little bit better. But it's going to do for right now. Had a big meal. Everything's going to be all right. Hopefully see you guys in the morning. Morning, guys. It is hot. I gotta get out of this hoodie. This is just way outside of my normal temperature zone. I can't do this. Oh. Yeah, that hammock settled pretty low on the ground, so I'm gonna have to brush up on my hammock setting up skills. Good hammock though. It seems sturdier than my other one. The other one I got was I got it 5 or 6 years ago. It seems like they're using a tougher material. I'm not sure, but yeah, happy with that. The most relieving part of any stealth camping is when the morning comes and you made it without getting caught or without being harassed by any other people who might be camping in the area. So to make things look less obvious, I'm going to take things down fairly quickly here so that it looks like I'm just out with my camera taking pictures of like trees and things. You know, there's a lot of people that do that. And I could be one of them for all that matters. I know many of you will not agree with me, but fall's coming soon. That's when I like to really go camping. Fall and spring, two best times. Here are mosquitoes. It's not that cold yet, and it's far easier, in my experience, to stay warm than to try and cool down. And I've turned into like some cold-blooded reptile or something out here. I don't know. I've just been able to do cold weather really easily for the last few years since I went to school and I stayed in a tent. I just got used to it. I've taken everything down to keep nice, clean camp where I was. The other people that camped here, though, I would like to meet them because, you know, there's all this stuff. It looks like they were probably going to try to build a semi-permanent cabin out here with this stuff. But, yeah, they're leaving their medicine containers laying around and a whole bunch of other stuff. That's not good. So, yeah, I got to get out of here. All these dragonflies and there's crickets and stuff, and I just keep thinking they're a snake every time the brushes rattle a little bit. So I'm gonna hike on out of here. It was a good spot for the night, that's for sure. And I'm gonna see what I can find for breakfast down the hill. And I do have another channel I've started up. It's called Steve Wallace Step 2. And the reason for that, I know people are thinking, well, just upload more to this channel, but the problem is people come here, they expect on this channel like basically an overnight camping thing, and then suddenly something about the house shows up, like house renovations. They're like, what is this? I didn't sign up for this channel. So this one will be strictly like, you know, 20 to 30 minutes or whatever, or even longer of actual camping trips. The other one is all the nitty gritty, boring aspects, side projects, that type of stuff. Building contraptions. The recipes will go onto that channel as well. So I'll start going through and doing all of them, like the camp cooking meals, without the whole camping experience, but just you know, the recipe, steps, ingredients, quantities, all that should be on there. Anyway, this old timer still rambles on. Holy moly! Yeah, I'm gonna head down there because I'm starving, and all I've got is a granola bar. That's just not going to do it for me. Just like that, I'm almost back out on the sidewalk like a regular, normal person, just going for a regular, normal walk. Not camping secretly in the woods. And before I get out there, I'm taking this one. Brush it up so they don't assume that I'm just drinking, walking down the road. Oh, somebody else. Maybe I'll have to bring the car back and haul some of this junk out of here. Yeah. All right. The perfect crime. Certainly not the most creative breakfast, but it's a Canadian one anyway. I have my backpack so full, I'm just using this little one for the summertime. And it was so full that I couldn't really fit much in breakfast-wise. And, you know, bringing eggs and bagels and all this other stuff would be a bit much. So I found it's just easier to take $5 with me for a breakfast meal in the morning. And I forgot with these backpacks how much of a criminal you feel like when you're walking into gas station or something, and they want you to, leave the bag on the counter. Then I'm like, oh, I got a bunch of camera gear in there. I don't even really trust leaving it there, but play by the rules, I guess. And having a haircut definitely helps. I don't look too shady anymore, just slightly shady. And that definitely helps with walking in and out of the forest, that type of thing, or the woods up there. But it was a pretty successful trip. Always nice and relaxing to sleep outdoors. Even it's something different about the air, I think. Even with traffic noise, that type of thing, it's just such a good sleep, I find. But somebody wants this parking spot here, so I gotta get out of their way. And please subscribe if you like this. Until next time, hunker down at home, and now you're camping with Steve.
Fancy Feast Gems. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary.
Lowe's knows when you need a new appliance, you need it fast. So we offer next day delivery of hundreds of appliances. Plus, members save more, and we'll haul away your old one. When you need it fast, we've got you covered. Shop Lowe's today. We help, you save.
Hey everybody, welcome to Camping with Steve. I'm in the suburbs in a neighborhood under construction. New houses are popping up like mushrooms, and right in this area, there seems to be some good potential. Now, these places are pretty monitored because of all the construction equipment, and look at that, there's a big pile of lumber there that folks could try to take. So I have a very small kit today, and there are signs everywhere that there is a community on patrol, community watch thing here. So we'll use a small kit in the woods right back there. And they are actively doing excavating and foundation work on all these homes through here. But that's okay, because we got porta potties as well, which is just extra fantastic to have those kicking around for emergencies. Little trail back there we can use to access the woods. This is all I'm bringing. Really small kit today, which will make things less suspicious. And the beauty of summer is that I can use these small kits. So the compromise is I really don't have any meal prep stuff with me. So we're going to order some DoorDash type stuff out here to the construction site. So let's go. Well, I didn't get far. There's a young couple on the trails, and they're getting quite passionate. So I'm going to wait for them to finish and for this other jogger to go past and get into the woods. I'm not going to wait for them any longer. I'm just going to walk right across here into the woods where I can. And it's not too far to cross over this construction zone here. It's pretty hard to tell if all this space is actually going to be huge yards for green space or what the deal is there. But they never make backyards this big, not new construction. The hill dropping off here really sharply is a great thing because I can be down here, and unless they walk right to the edge, nobody's going to see it. Perfect spot. This will do just fine, but the mosquitoes are ferocious. So before I even set up the hammock, we're going to get the thermocell on. I don't see any trails around here for wildlife or for people, so that's perfect. We're into the dog days of summer now, where the grass is tall enough I could see if anything's walked past, and this is just looking great. So as long as these trees line up, I think they will just beautifully. Do the business. Well, the hammock is definitely low. I'm pretty much sitting right on the ground, so I might have to raise this up a little bit or I'll be waking up in the thorn bushes here. There are hammock straps that protect the bark of trees. These particular ones that I'm always tying up to are, this is a quaking aspen, so it's either a balsam poplar or a quaking aspen I'm typically tying to. And I haven't seen damage from these straps done to the bark. However, I'm sure there's trees out there that are more delicate. And I do own some, but I forget to bring them with me wherever I go. I'm a big fan of things that are one piece, because then there's no pieces to lose. And I like this hammock so much. This bird is not happy about me. This is still pretty much like dog walking hour. So I'm going to use this moment to step outside and see what this looks like from the surface. And if I do this later on, it'll look way too suspicious. So do this in the daylight here. And yeah. She looks like that from up here, but okay. Let's see. From over here, yeah, you can kind of see that, but nobody should be out here. There is an excavator there. There's our morning porta potty. And, oh yeah. Nobody will see a thing. So this is what I consider just about a perfect spot. It's stealthy enough, but not completely hidden. There is an element of excitement here. I'm returning down the trail I was originally going to take. Of course, we can see absolutely nothing from here. Awesome. They are gone. Yeah. The end of the trail. This ever-expanding city has gobbled up another farm. And you can see all the barbed wire, fence posts, they just kind of put it here to burn it. As stealthy as possible. It's that time again. Step number 2. So, just as quietly as I can, I'm gonna open this up. Not bad at all. Oh yeah. This is a really basic stealth camping trip. There's nothing too novel. There's no new gear. It's a very concealed spot, which doesn't have a lot of risk as far as getting caught, which I need after last week's run-in with hiding from the police, my stove exploding. I just don't want any problems like that. It's been a little stressful week. So this may be a boring video to some, but I prefer the term relaxing. One thing I realized when I was camping with the guys last week was that 95% of stealth camping is just kind of sitting around quietly, not doing anything. And it is a lonely feeling. I think I mentioned this before, where it's so strange that, you know, there's going to be thousands of people that see this and a whole bunch of comments. But in the moment, yeah, I'm very alone here. It's nice to have the company around, but it's definitely not stealthy. Well, I'm going to order some food and get it delivered out to the road. I just put construction site, I'll meet you on the road. So today, I'm going to try Mr. Beast Burger. Sounds interesting. The Beast style burger combo. Soft bun, yes please. Yeah, some seasoned fries, sure. And a water with that, because why not? All right. Okay. Looks like it'll be here in about an hour. Okay. I didn't order the Beast style fries because I'm not actually that hungry. Looks like we could be getting some rain here. But that's okay. The hammock is about the best thing you can be in for these types of little surprise rainstorms. The food is about 8 minutes away, and I don't want to scare this poor driver by stumbling into the forest. So I'm going to walk over to the car and kind of wait there. Of course, construction sites at night can be a very dangerous place, so don't do this unless absolutely necessary. I gave them the address of a foundation, so there's not even a house there. But I'll wave them down when I get here.
Are you working?
Yeah, I'm gonna work next year. Yeah,
You want to work all night?
we'll see. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
thanks a lot.
And be careful.
Working on some beer in the woods, that's what I'm working on. I normally try to order directly from the restaurants instead of these apps because I don't know how fairly they treat the drivers or the restaurants. And usually if there's a problem, they end up sending you to each other's directions. So the app will say, contact the restaurant will say, contact the app. And we just want to support the businesses as much as possible. But this one only exists through the app. It's a virtual restaurant. Okay, Mr. Beast Burger. Yeah. That's the bird here. Beast style bird. Well, it's a lot of toppings on it, and it smells pretty good. Wow, that's quite the bird. Mm. Mm. Oh man, that is just what I needed for a surprise. Normal crinkle cut fries delivered from White Park, so they're a bit soggy. The seasoning's good on them though. Okay, looks like we've got a storm brewing. It's pretty late, but I'm glad I stayed up this late to catch a little bit of thunderstorm action. We'll see what happens. We haven't had a good one this year, and I love these things. So, in a hammock, it's all the better. All right, the radar says that's probably going to miss us, but we might get a good lightning show in the distance. I love a good thunderstorm, but it seems to be going around me, and that's the way it normally goes. When I'm trying to see one is I'll see it on the radar, and then it splits and goes around me, and I miss it. I can hear it in the distance, but it's just not here, which is maybe a good thing because it was dumping some hail, and this little tarp will not hold up in a hail situation. Something's out there. I think it's like maybe a moose. I don't know. It sounds like an animal in distress or something like that. And I have no idea what that noise was, but it sounded like an animal sneezing. I don't think that's a friendly noise. And of course, why would you want to fall asleep to the pitter-patter of rain on a tarp when you could be falling asleep to what could possibly be the death cries of some strange, large animal in the woods right behind you, and then crawl into your paper-thin hammock for the night? So that's exactly what we're going to do because we don't have any other options other than to go home. and that is not an option. So into the hammock we go. Hunker down in the hammock. I don't hear that strange animal anymore. And I'll be using my jacket as a pillow. Hard to believe. Got the GoPro set up. Let's hunker down, my friends, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. There's the rain. And a little thunder. It's quite early. The sun here actually rises at 5:55 in the morning, of all things, which makes sleeping in quite difficult, probably contributing to my lack of sleep, because I am a bit of a night owl. And when I'm turning in bed at 1 or 2 in the morning, the sun coming up 4 hours later does not help me have good sleep. Yeah, there's no activity on the construction site here, probably because it's just so early, or maybe because it's a little rainy as well. But a little more sleep, and then we'll get the day going. The rain is starting to actually get pretty heavy, but it is bone dry in here, just the way I like it. So I'm going to wait for a bit of a break in the rain before I start tearing this stuff down. I'll hopefully get a nice little moment when it's not raining so hard. But of course, I have to give my shout outs to the folks that have gone above and beyond and support the channel. Also, I have to give my shout outs to Rudy's birthday. And what a birthday to have. If it's actually your birthday today, I think it's like National Beer Day or International Beer Day. I just saw online. I think there's 2 of them. One would be international, and another would be probably the American National Beer Day. I don't know. But you know what that means. Practice that too, if you have not already. Rain seems to be letting up a little bit. Didn't get a ton of sleep, but get the day begun here. The day started it. There's that construction crew. I can hear them right now. They're beginning their day and just on the way out. So perfect timing. Just procrastinating here because it's raining so badly. Guess we'll start with the sleeping bag, one thing at a time. Perfect break in the rain. I think I can get this all torn down in like 5 minutes. It's my guess. There's not too much to take down, pack up. Absolutely amazing time of year that I can use this as a sleeping bag. Just got to take this rope off, and I'll show you just on the tree. Like, I guess there's maybe a little indentation there, but yeah, I'll probably grab those straps. I don't want to wreck any trees. We didn't have reservations and everything for anniversary. Today would be a really nice day to sit in the hammock and just enjoy the sound of the rain. That's okay though. We got all winter to enjoy some rain out towards the coast. That should be quite nice. Storm watching, waves rolling in on the shore. pouring a foundation out there. You can see the concrete bunker. So, let's just wander out of here. If anybody questions me, which I don't think they will, I'm going to come back at them with, is this you guys's? Okay, we did it. We are out of here. Absolute success. I need a nice hot coffee though, because I'm going to have to wake up. Thanks a lot. You too, thanks. We're just a few hours away from beginning our anniversary trip, which is fantastic. And what's also fantastic is the video I've got planned for next week. If all goes to plan, this will be by far the riskiest one I've ever done. I'm trying not to overthink it, I don't scare myself out of doing it. But on paper, it looks good. And so please stay tuned for that one. It'll be more exciting than this one, I swear. That's just kind of what comes when I get back to the city and I get kind of in a rut here, dealing with life, is that anywhere good to sell camp that I know of in the city, I've done it. So I always need to be traveling. And there's a lot of other channels that are pretty much just constantly on the road. And that's tricky as well. So trying to strike the balance between charging your batteries at home, you know, like becoming rejuvenated, then hitting the road. But also I rejuvenate on the road as well. So my batteries get charged in different ways, from being at home, you know, relaxing, getting stuff in order, doing my taxes and paperwork and stuff like that, getting caught up on life, charging my batteries in some ways, but then being out on the open road also does. So I like to strike a balance. So I like to try and strike a balance there. Anyway, I get home and see a beautiful light. Anyway, I got to get home, get packed up, and hit the road. So cheers, guys. Thanks for stopping by for a visit this week. And next week will be good. And from then on, we got river trip after that, and another trip out back to the coast, because I still have a list of videos that I need to film up there. So cheers, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Hunker down, my friends.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. It's in the pulse of those who never stop getting the job done or the party started. This summer, Chevy drives America. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Is that Philly cheesesteak? Yeah, boy! Hot pockets.
Hey guys, today I'm doing a little bit of a stealther in a public day use area. Now this, by all rights, in my opinion, should be a campground. And it actually looks like it was at some point. There may have been a booth here, a registration booth, something like that. But there's a vehicle coming, so I'm going to get out of the way. We're going to check this park out a little bit. And I drove in here today. We're going to figure out how to leave the vehicle here overnight. So let's go. All right. Beautiful, beautiful park. We're coming down some walking trails here with what look to be campsites. And it looks like this was actually a walking campground at some point. There are some people having a nice group picnic over there. And I can walk right down here to the lake. And there's a little boat launch. Somebody just sent me a message. Oh, it's a crazy neighbor. Sorry, I'll shut the phone off. Now I can see these maintenance trails that they have here. They come right through like so. And all along here, there are little campsite-y things. So it is my suspicion that this used to be, in fact, a free county sort of campground They may have had trouble with bush parties, etc. So unfortunately, it's turned into a day use area. You know, you can see there's some picnic tables, there's some fire rings, that type of thing. Now, I don't know what it would cost them to actually turn this into a campground. In fact, I think they'd make a little more money than as a day use area. This is completely free to use during the daytime. And, you know, such a beautifully maintained place. They got garbage cans, they have toilets. The only thing they have to lose by turning it into a campground is getting $20 or $30 a night or whatever they charged. So I'm gonna sit down under this beautiful tree in full bloom here. And that, I think, calls for step 2, right by the lake. Because step 1 was finding the old accesses on what I'm sure was a campground. So let's sit down here under this tree. Oh, that's not in bloom, that's poplar fuzz. Okay, good thing I'm not allergic. Step 2 today is scotch. Because it's easier to carry in than beer, that's for sure. And it is so smooth. That's smooth, yeah. There's a few pieces of firewood here. I'll try to find some more. It's a little windy today. I hope that doesn't interfere with the sound too much, because I'm filming on Wednesday. I managed to get a day off here. So happy Wednesday, a day late. It's Thursday now. But I'm going to stay away from those other groups of people. Since I've exploded on YouTube a little bit, or gained a lot more popularity since last summer, I do tend to get recognized a little bit. And if somebody sees me in a public day use park with a backpack and a camera, I think the jig will be up. They're gonna know exactly what I'm up to. So I can be here just fine, having a little fire. I shouldn't really have the whiskey with me, scotch, but it's a gray area. They're starting to make it more legal in day use areas because they've noticed everybody does it anyways. So find some more firewood, get set up right here as if I'm just a normal guy, enjoying the nature, taking some wildlife shots, which I am. So it's gonna be good. I'm looking for a little more firewood. A free wood pile, hard to believe. And I'm gonna move the site over a little closer because it's a lot to carry. And I've gotten out of shape lately. I have to get back into shape. I was gonna cycle out here. That's like a couple-hour cycle trip. And it used to be no problem. In fact, about 8 years ago, I did an 800-mile or 1,200-kilometer cycle tour from Victoria to BC to Edmonton, Alberta. And I did 60 miles or 100K a day, no problem. Except when I tried to come out here yesterday, I got about a half an hour in. I said, okay, that's a project for another day as I slowly get a little more into shape, ease down into step 2s a little bit, and just generally do as much more physical exercise as I can. So I'm going to scoop up a bunch of this wood and get it over quickly before somebody else grabs this and set up and just act like I belong here. This fire pit I'm not going to cook on. It is way too deep. They've cleaned it out. And if I get any flames to the top, this fire would have to be huge in order for that to happen. I do have a little cooking stove, which is a little more reliable on the heat, a little more controllable. So we'll save the fire for a little bit when the mosquitoes get bad, and that'll flush them out nicely. Oh yeah. Doesn't get a lot better than this. Now we've secured a little wood. I don't think there's anybody coming by this site. I picked a non-weekend to come out here, so things should die off pretty quick. It's a school night. And this is what all the fuss is about this part. There's a little lake here, which is probably good for fish. And I don't have my fishing license quite yet this year. Otherwise, I'd probably fish from the pier somewhere if I could. But I will be doing some fishing in the future. And not a huge lake, but a good lake. Looks quite nice. Shouldn't be a day used without the swing sets. So, depending on my mood, I may indulge later. As some people know, that is my guilty pleasure. I do enjoy a good swing after a few step twos. Onward we go. Finders keepers. So very good. Oh well. Can't leave this here. Okay, good stuff. The mosquitoes are coming out though. So I'm going to use this Thermacell mosquito repellent. I've had good luck with it. Not everybody has, but for me, it has really done the job. Super easy to use. It's just another toolkit in the drawer dealing with these bloodsuckers. And throw in a fresh butane cartridge. And when this starts smoking, it should clear the air pretty quickly of any of these pesky critters. Pull some stuff out, make it look like I'm just here for a little barbecue. Go. And a fresh butane cartridge for the Thermacell. Okay. Not a moment too soon. I am getting eaten alive. Oh yeah, there we go. That should do. It doesn't work really well if there's a ton of wind, but then if there's a ton of wind, there's not usually a ton of skeeters. So, got stuff I need out for a nice little meal here. I just grabbed my regular to-go bag. I've got a little candle I can put out.